Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Erlengrat. Because I pressed the wrong button, wrong button right then. I actually meant to switch over to another machine. Okay, so you have got one more pass up across the field and you're done. You are empty again. So we go to this one. It's taking 600 litres at a time. We've filled up once, twice. This is the third time that we've filled up. It's got 2,000 litres in it. So once we've done a refill here, it had 18 litres left in the last tank. So it will have 218 litres left in the tank. I do a fill. No, sorry, it's 400 each time. Okay, I thought it was 600 each time. Right. It's taken 1,200 litres out of there, which means it's got 818 litres left in here, which is more than I wanted it to have, actually. I was hoping that we could empty this one out completely, but we're not going to be able to. I think that it's going to finish this contract before it needs to do another refill. It's definitely not going to refill 2. So, I mean, the only other option is that I just tip all the rest of the herbicide onto the floor. I wasn't actually planning to do that. Right, you're done over in this field. Next one for you. So 17 and 25, those contracts are finished. I'm going to go... How much have I got left? 59%. I don't think that's enough to do field 14. So I'm going to go up the road to field 8, and I'm going to go and do that one now. So we get the fertilizer sprayed on field 8. And then we'll probably want to drive back to the dealership and sort of finish up there. So that we can, like, I might, actually, if I do field 8, I may have enough to go on up and do field 6 as well. And that way I've sort of got most of the stuff done over here. I've got 3 and 4 right next to each other, but I'm fairly certain I can get both of those done with one tank of fertilizer. So it's one trip to the dealership and then one trip up there, which I think would be probably the best way to... I'd rather do it just with like one, because this one has got a reasonable road speed. I think it's actually quicker to plan it out so that we just do a couple of trips back and forth to the dealership and load this one up at the dealership rather than loading the pallets onto the back of the pickup and then trying to chase around with the pickup, because this one is nice and quick on his feet. If it wasn't so fast on his feet, if he was a little bit slower driving around, it would be a different story altogether. Are you going to be able to go up through there? Yes, you should be fine. So we'll see what he's like after he's done this field, whether or not there is enough. While that one's doing contract on field 16 is finished, that would be this one right here. We have definitely got enough to get to the end of the field on there, so we don't need to worry about you. I can get this one moving then. We get this one over to field 13 so that he's there and ready to start unloading our sugar beet harvester. It's currently on 42%. Once this one is over there, I think we could consider getting another harvest job underway. We'll get a combine job, pull that one out, get a combine into a field somewhere and start whizzing up and down a field. Possibly this little field over here, field 21. We got 21 and 19. Those are both ready for harvest. Whether or not they're on the list of fields to be harvested, I don't actually know at the moment. I suspect they probably are. We've also got, I think there's one all the way at the top as well. You know, we went up and did 25 for fertilizer. I think there's also a harvest job to do up there. So, might take that one first. Get that one out of the way. I like to get the ones that are a little bit further away first. If you get those done, then the jobs that follow on, they tend to... It feels like they wrap up a little bit faster. That's all. Fertilizer's not doing anything at the moment. Let me just quickly go over to you. Ah, right. Okay, he's come over to this side. I tell you what, I'm going to start this one over on this side, and then he can finish in the middle. And it looks like he's able to cope with... Ooh, I tell you what. I was going to say, it looks like he's able to cope with the uneven field down here, but he's not actually able to cope with the uneven field down here. I can see that already. So if I do a pass down here, like this, we do a little bit down here up into the corner, and then once we've done that, we can about face and start working from this side of the field to finish this one off. We're down to 45% in the fertilizer spinner, 44%. That's pretty good, I'd say. I reckon we're going to be alright for this. Helper H has completed their task. That'll be the herbicide. Let's start you up through there. Right, that's a good reach. There you go, you can go and do that one. You are finished. Fold you up. Got 21 litres left. I'm going to refill this one completely before I go anywhere, but we have got a bit left in that herbicide tank, unfortunately. So let's take you on round and we'll go back over there. I need to get that let's go back to that tractor that I was driving. And we'll get this one over to the fields. I actually want to go to you now, and we've got enough room carved out on the top end of this field in order to be able to turn round properly. So if I stop you there a second, bring you around like this, and I put the spout out here, I can literally just stop that one there for a second, and then go back to the tractor here. Whiz down across there. We can unload that sugar beet harvester, and we can just do like a couple passes along the end of the field, like the triangle end, and that's sort of preparing the field ready to get the rest of the harvesting going with the hired help. Because the hired help is probably going to be alright with coping with it, but I'd rather like cut out just a few little bits there so there's plenty of room for him to turn around. He's not going to get stuck on some of the traffic, because otherwise pretty certain he's going to get himself stuck somehow. Now, unfortunately, we've got a 30,000 litre trailer and we've got a 30,000 litre capacity on this one, so every time we get a full tank, we've then got to go and run to the supermarket. So we're going to have a bit of road work with this one. There's going to be a little bit of leg work involved, which is just means it's going to take a little bit longer to get everything finished, I suppose. I mean, I suppose we could always just move it to there and then carry the whole lot over after we've finished doing the harvest and just run between the two at the end. So there's not lots of running up and down the road. We go from here out on this corner that we're on, because we can do that. There's no fence there. Straight up here, tip, and come back. When this field is finished, the train comes along, take all of the sugar beet from here, we bring it down here, and here, we tip it out right there, and then it's a couple of trips backwards and forwards to unload into there. It's whatever we want. And then the remainder we sell. Well, most likely we just wait until we got a decent price at Felsburn Grain Mill, because I mean at the moment that's on 151. What's good prices on here? I know I've got good prices here somewhere. I got price lists for 2 different series. This is why people have been telling me I need to use the price, the prices that they've been telling me. There's some good prices on these. It's not. I've got 2 different lists I'm looking at. This is no good. That's the wrong list. Where's the right? I've got another list here. I have another list of numbers. Please tell me I didn't throw it away. Possibly I have thrown away my second list. This is why I've been told I need to get this mod, because then I don't need to worry about it, because the mod will tell me when the numbers are right. Okay, I don't have it. But anyway, right now we've got 151 on there. I mean, there's not going to be a lot of variation in that, is there? We can look at these numbers here and we can just... I'd say we just go for it, really. 151 I think is pretty good. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to just have this one now. We can fold that in, and then I can start this one up. So we start running down the side of the field here. Like this. There we go. Getting plenty of sugar beet on board. What's this one like for driving in cab? Take a little bit of getting used to, I guess. There's a lot of dancing around going on in here. That's the problem with this game. Another problem. There's lots of problems. I always got something to complain about. The terrain, the way that it kind of like makes everything bounce up and down a little bit. Now, they added that in as an optional in the last version of the game. For some things, it does actually work well, and it does seem like it does seem to do what you want it to do. Unfortunately, for other things, it doesn't work well. And for things like these sugar beet harvesters, they dance all over the place when they're going down across the field, and it is because of the whole the real terrain feel, or whatever it is. But I mean, look at this thing. Look how much it's moving as it's going down across the field. And you get some combines do this really badly. In real life, these things are huge. They don't bounce around like this. It just, yeah, you don't have them leaping up and down. This thing's like a bucking bronco at the moment. It's terrible. And they don't actually do that. And this is the principal reason why I didn't often use that terrain thing. In FS19, I tried it out for a bit, but I got fed up with the bouncing up and down, so I ended up getting rid of it. For this now, the one single biggest disappointment about this feature, is that it's not optional. I would like to be able to turn this off. It would be a lot better. Like the mower in the, the big self-propelled mower. That one's particularly susceptible to bouncing up and down. So when I'm using it in my time-lapse series, you got the mower is bouncing up and down quite a bit, and then you go and speed that footage up. Honestly, it looks like the thing's driving up and down steps. It's jumping up and down so much. It's ridiculous. And it shouldn't be like that. It definitely shouldn't. That's physics going slightly wrong there. And I've got no problems with having this feature, because for a lot of it, for tractors working on the ploughed ground and the cultivated ground and stuff like that, it's actually really good. And it is pretty realistic. Like, it does actually seem to emulate what you want it to, it does properly simulate what it's supposed to be simulating. And as far as I'm concerned, that's probably a good thing. But there are times when it doesn't. So if we had the option to be able to switch that off, that would be a lot better. That's what I'd like to see. I can imagine that getting it coded exactly right so everything has the correct response would be rather difficult. But if we could, even if it wasn't like a feature that you turn on and off, I mean, yeah, turning it on and off in the menus, that would be pretty good, because we have several features that we can turn off, like switching to trains, remembering where your view was when you switch to different cabs. I always have it so it resets the view to this, because I don't know if it's a mod that you can have that allows you to not reset. You're not supposed to be finished. Whether it's a mod or whether it's just an option in the base game now, I'm not actually sure. But you can have it remember where, the direction your character was facing, exactly where your character was and how it was looking and so on. So if I've got a zoom like this and then I go to a different vehicle and I come back, it's looking like this. Whilst that is a good feature, it's not actually one that I want. It's not one that I find personally useful, and it's one that does actually interfere with my ability to, create my videos properly, because of time-lapse. Like, with the time-lapse, I can always guarantee, if I switch a vehicle, I know exactly where it's going to be. So if I don't record for 5 hours straight, I break it up. Sometimes there may be 10 different separate video recordings. And each time, if I want to change over, I switch machines. There, I've switched machine. I can stop recording immediately. So I come along, right, okay, new tractor, and stop recording. Done. There. And then I start recording right here, and then I can carry on. And it's seamless, occasionally, if I've shut off the game in between sessions, you'll notice that the tracks on the ground will disappear. And that's the only thing that you will see in between moving them. It's absolutely seamless. If I didn't have the thing where it resets it every time, it wouldn't be quite so seamless. I mean, yes, it jumps back into the vehicle and it does do it alright, but it's more difficult to get it accurate. I did try it before and I found that it sort of didn't feel quite as smooth when I was doing time-lapse stuff. I don't know why, though. I wasn't ever... Like, it just didn't look right, jumping into a vehicle and having the camera angle already set further out, or whatever the camera angle I had last used on. It didn't look quite right with it. So being able to have it just go to how it was previously, it works a lot better. It's much more seamless, and it sort of seems to look better when it comes to doing the videos as well. So that's why I've kept it. I've chosen not to go and use any such feature. I do get people telling me that I could go and use it, and yeah, it would probably be helpful, but I do genuinely prefer having it the way that I have it. So I can adjust each time when I get into the vehicle. Because I tend to set each one, and it also depends largely on what kind of mood I'm in. Sometimes I don't really want to have it. Like, I will... It really does depend on each one, what I'm doing, how I'm doing different things. If I get into a vehicle and I've been watching it for a bit and we're like this, and then I go and have a look at another one, and I go and do something, and then I go back to this one, after this one has gone and stopped work, if I'm still looking at it over here, I've got extra camera movements going on. Again, never a good thing in a time-lapse, because that just makes everybody seasick, and you don't want that. And a large part of how I pick out mods and stuff is down to doing the time-lapse. Obviously, I'm not doing, like, everything is not exactly the same. I could use a different selection of mods if I wanted to. But I do kind of, like, base a lot of my decisions around whether or not it would affect the time-lapse or otherwise. And then I kind of, like, do it from there. I've only got 83 litres. Am I going to have enough? I don't think I'm going to have enough to finish this field. That's a bit of a nuisance. Right, anyway. You here. So I want to unload... I'll unload what I can from that one. And I am going to do the whole thing with the train. We're going to run this one up the road close by. We're going to tip it into the train storage. And we'll move everything all in one go down to the other train storage, and we'll tip it out there after we've harvested this entire field, and then we will run whatever we need to over to the supermarket in order to complete the job, and the rest is then there available to go and sell in Felsbrunn or wherever else we might decide to go and sell once the time is right. So if I just fill this one up, take a little bit off of this, there we go. We can go racing off up the road in a minute. So I've got 31,000 litres of sugar beet in there. I go up here. There is a little bit out on the corner of the field that we can go through. There's the train whizzing through. Now you look. See how far that train gets away from us before it starts lifting up. It could start lifting up when the back of the train has gone across, it starts going across that bridge, and it would be fine. That wouldn't affect anything, and that way we could have it we could get a lot more early warning on there. Contract on field 6 has finished. That's good. I've only got 18 litres left in there, so we've finished the contract. So oh, it's actually completed the job. We've got 17 litres left in it. But it's completed his job. There. Okay, I'd say that was actually pretty good there, with 17 litres left in that one. I'd say we could class that as a success there. So you here, I can take you and drive you back over to the sugar beet in a minute. We've got to shunt round here to get out because there is only one entrance coming in and out of this place. I've also got several jobs that I can go and get so that we can come back into... Let's go back to positive money a minute, shall we? Let's go back and have a look. So we've got a few jobs here. We've got fertilizer field 6 is now done. 1,800. We've got fertilizer field 8, 3,380. We got fertilizer field 17, that's 4,000. We've got fertilizer field 25, that was the very first one, that's 3,000. We've got spraying, 4,242. That's a lot of money coming in. So now if I go new contracts in here, I've got even more fertilizer jobs coming up. It's brilliant. So we've got field 10. Except we got field 12, except we got field 16 that we've only just gone and sprayed. Except that contract as well. So we've got a whole host of fertilizer across everything. This is fantastic. So field 6 is just done, and field 8. So if I go back and reload now, I should have enough... to do, I think I'll go and reload and we'll do 3 and 4 next. Let's get this one back down to the field. We've got 1,700 litres of sugar beet. We can move, we can do the fertilizer, we can do that. And then I want to get the sprayer and a small tractor back to our yard. I'd like just to get that one there so that it's done, it's out of the way. And then we can look at, potentially we can look at doing a combine job. Let's drive dangerously here, shall we? We'll whiz on past all of this lot and go into the field here. I'm gonna just wait for the sugar beet harvester to fill up because... Actually, no, I won't. I will just take a little bit off of him now. I grab a little bit here. Just briefly. Go on. There we go. You're gonna stop. They normally stop. Right, they do actually normally stop. So he's got 3,000, 7,000, 10,000 litres in there. All right, I'm going to leave it now, and I'll let the harvester just sort of carry on working. Because this trailer takes 31,000, and the harvester holds 30,000 as its capacity. So, yeah, there's a very, very small discrepancy in between the two numbers, but it's nothing much to worry about. We want to take you back down the road to the dealership and load up. Then we come back up to field 3 and 4 and spread those two fields. I should be able to do both of them. Just ignore the bad driving. I can get both of those done with one load. That's about the furthest that we'll have to drive. There's also, I mean, we are going over to field 16. There's a little bit of a trek over there. And we got field 10 as well. I'm not sure that we're going to be able to get both of those fields done with one load. I mean, we did get 17 and 8. We got 17 over there and 8 and 6. I don't know if these two are going to be steady. Yeah, I don't know. We'll worry about that when we get to it. I need to... Oh, it's not... I was going to say I need to turn off here, don't I? But no, I don't. It's the next one. And... Ooh, I thought for sure he was going to smack inside of me. They usually do. They see me coming, and then they choose to ignore that, and they carry on up the road. They carry on up the road. They carry on... Well, they do carry on up the road. They carry on up the road right under my wheels, which is never very useful. No, it's just not helpful, that kind of attitude, to be honest. It's troublesome, to say the least. Very, very troublesome. Come in here. Fields 3, is it? Yeah, 3 and 4. That's what we're doing. And there goes the train, and whoosh. Barrier is barely down. We want more warning on that. If I'd been driving a slightly bigger vehicle, that barrier, I mean... really have... If I'd tried to stop, I think I possibly would have been able to stop with this one. If I'd had something slightly bigger, I wouldn't have been able to stop in time. And there would have been a nasty accident. And it would have been unpleasant, and the only person at fault would no doubt have been me, because, yeah, it's all my fault that they've got the signals timed wrong. And, yeah, I just don't think it's right. They're setting you up for a loss in court of law, and I just don't think it's the right way to do things. I think it's terrible. I really do. It just seems like it's designed to cause an accident so then they can come back and sue you for it. And I don't like this. I don't like this idea at all. I think this is a terrible thing. Let's go this way. As soon as I got this one going, actually, we'll then want to go and have a look at the sugar. No, the sugar beet is doing all right. Once we got something going, we will... Yeah, I want to get the combine going, but I just want to take a quick look at the tractors again, because I'm wondering if, with all these fertilizer jobs that we've got piling up, and the harvest jobs as well, could we afford to go a step higher than Nubura? I mean, yes, for sentimentality's sake, I would like to be able to buy the Bura. I think it would be a very nice addition. It would be nice to have that tractor to run up and down the field a little bit. But I think realistically we ought to consider not getting that one if we can get one that runs a little bit better. Now, as the farmer does own all of this, and it's just scrub land down here, he's going to be happy for us to drive in across the bottom end of the field here. And we just start working here like this. Now, I'm going to do a single pass along the bottom end of both fields. That's what I'm doing with this. And then I'm going to start from the far end of field 3, and I'm just going to work my way across. That's kind of what I was thinking to do here. So we go in around like that. And straighten you out a little bit there. I know I just fertilized across the track there, but I don't think it was anything worth worrying about. If we end up not completing this by about 2 liters of fertilizer, I will say yes, it was because I drove on that track the way that I did. It was all my fault. I got it wrong. But if we don't, then, you know, everything will be fine. I really don't know if we're going to do this. I think we can do it. It's the kind of thing, you look at it and you think, yeah, this is going to be pretty tight. Regardless of how we do this, it's going to be pretty tight. Hopefully, it will work. But either way, whether we just do it or we just miss out, it's going to be pretty tight whichever way it goes. We know that right from the start. I think it's going to be alright. Now, we're doing 19k right there, which suggests that because I thought it was supposed to do 20k. When we've emptied out and we go back to the dealership, we will repair the fertilizer spinner and make sure that everything is working fine. Okay, the sugar beet is up to 20,000 at the moment. I think I've got about 10,000 in. I want to get that tractor back, but yeah, I need to just wait for him to turn around. Okay, tractors very quickly. Let's just have a quick look. I know I've looked at tractors an awful lot. So that's 39, it's 40 grand to go and get that tractor. It is 100 horsepower though, but it's only 32k. This one does 40k, so it's quite a bit faster, but it's obviously slow on hills and stuff. So 32 is a bit slow. We know that, and we kind of accepted that. You are 110 horsepower, but you're more than double the price at 82,500, which does kind of put you a little bit out of range. I mean, there's this one here, which is one of my favorite tractors, the Lintrax. I really like those. Again, that's even more expensive, so it's probably not something that we want to be looking at. There is the possibility, of course, of going with this one. That is 90 horsepower. Well, we have the case over here. How fast is the case? The case is 40k. This one is 40k on the road. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.